Milwaukee. I'm coming, with this, live video, some exhortation, for everybody that's going through some stuff, man. And telling you, it's time to be set free from all, everything that you're going through, right? Whatever is troubling you, whatever, you're going through, right? You got to get set free from it, right? You got to move in a spirit of faith in the last days. We got to take affliction, take tribulation, temptation, take it to the chin, and say that it's going to be all right? You got to understand that. And that's the spirit that you want to move in, right? If you're not moving in that spirit, right, it's going to be hard for you to ever endure any temptation. It's going to be hard for you to ever endure any affliction if you say it's too much for you. If you say anything is too much for you, you already, quitting on yourself. You're quitting on the Lord, essentially, right? But we're going to get this quick precept real quick, I ain't going to get too many because I'm driving at the moment, right? But this John chapter 8 and verse number 32. It says, "In the truth, and ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free." Right? So right off bat, right, but you coming into the truth, right, and understanding you an Israelite, understanding who Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai is, right, and who your Savior is, and what's to come, right? You know the truth. So now you have an opportunity to be set free from your demons, to be set free from the sins that's, easily overcoming you, right? The people in the world don't have that. A regular old Christian, from the world, they don't have that. They can't be set free from anything, right? Because they're still in chains. They're still in chains of darkness. They're still in bondage to their demons, right? But with you coming into the truth, you have power. You're already one step up, 10 steps up, having the Lord, right? So you're supposed to be set free from your lust, right? From your, breaking the Sabbath, from hatred, that grudge you got for a brother or a sister. You already have, an opportunity to be set free from that. But it comes with faith. And it comes with, your own willpower. You got to have willpower as well. You can't just rely, on you can't just rely on yourself first and foremost. But you can't just think the Lord is going to just say, you know what? Boom. Gone be that demon be gone. No, that's not how it works. You got to put in the work, and you got to build yourself up with the precepts and actually telling and denying yourself and saying, you know what, I'm not going to do this for you to overcome something. The same way somebody would get off of crack is the same way that you're going to overcome your demons. It's by, not doing it, right? By not letting yourself fall to it. If a crackhead continue to fall to fall to the damn crack demon, he never going to get off of crack. So if you continue to fall into whatever spirit it is that you fall into, you're never going to overcome that spirit. It's as simple as that, right? But, us in the truth, we sometimes make it too magical. We make it too hard, right? And we think that I could pray 1,000,000 times and boom. I could pray 1,000,000 times and not put no effort in and boom, all my problems are gone. No, that's not how it works. Your problems don't go away unless you work. Unless you have faith and you work, right? But let me keep reading on this, all right? Verse 33 says, "They answered him, we be Abraham's seed, and were never in bondage to any man. How sayest thou, Salakia, how sayest thou, ye shall be made free?" Right? And you got, the Jews all damn carnal talking about, we ain't never been in bondage to no man, right? The Lord isn't talking about a physical bondage, right? He's talking about spiritually, in bondage, right? That's what the gospel is even about, right? The gospel is for you, those that's captive spiritually to be set free, right? You can read about that in Isaiah 61st chapter. We're going to actually grab that next, right? But you got the Jews that they're just thinking carnal, right? That's how man thinks. Man is just always carnal, always thinking something else than what the whole actual point is, right? But let's keep reading, right? This verse 34, right? It says, Yahushua answered them, "Verily, verily, I say unto you, whosoever committeth sin is the servant of sin." Right? So if you commit sin, you're the servant to that sin. You obey that sin more than you obey the Most High. Right? Because a lot of people, they whatever demon it is that's attached to their mind, their mental, right? They serving and giving that spirit more and more time than they giving the Most High, right? And now you committing idolatry. So now you got another sin on you, right? So we got to make sure that we getting set from these things. We got to make sure that we got to fast more. We got to pray more, right? We all fall short of these things. We all fall short of, praying as much as we can, fasting as much as we can, enduring these things and training our minds to not think about these things. We all fall short of that, right? But it comes with time and it comes with effort, right? Practice makes perfect. You can't just sit here and pray a million times with no effort, and you can't just put in no effort without praying, right? It's you gotta do both, right? That's how you overcome any mountain, anything, right? Well, I'm gonna grab this in Isaiah 61 real quick, right? All right, this Isaiah. Wait a second. It's Isaiah 61 and verse number 1. It says, "The Spirit of the Lord God is upon me, because the Lord hath anointed me to preach good tidings unto the meek. He hath sent me to bind up the brokenhearted." Slack it. Right? And to proclaim liberty to the captives and the opening of the prison to them that are bound. Right? So that's all this gospel is about. Right? It's about getting you set free from all your demons, from all your troubles of the world, all your afflictions. Right? That's what this is all about. That's what the truth is, man. It's about you becoming a better man, a better woman, not being the same person you was before, right? Having the same spirits on you, right? Having these same demons attached to your presence, right? That's what it's all about, right? And if you're not going to accept that and you're not going to make an effort to overcome things, because a lot of people, right, they don't like to overcome things, right? They just like to soak in their sorrows. They like to say, man, this spirit on me, man, I can't overcome it, right? And that's our problem, right? We love our people love that, right? They love to, complain about their issues instead of overcoming it, right? Our people love to murmur. That's what they did in the wilderness. They literally sat there and murmured instead of just putting in that time, that work, doing what the Most High commanded them, walking through the wilderness, keeping the commandments, keeping their head strong and believing in Yahweh B'Ashem Yahushai. They murmured instead and they got destroyed. Right? So that's what we got to move. That's the spirit we need to be moving in. Is a spirit of putting in that effort and that work to overcome things instead of complaining about it, just sitting around expecting things to change all magically. Right? Things don't happen magically. Right? You got to show me an account where, a man just, where a man didn't put in no work, and just got results. Got good results. I never seen a man, just not putting any effort, not putting any work, and he just got good results. Every one of our forefathers, they prayed unto the Most High. They called upon the Most High while still trying to put in work, right? And that's when things started to change for them. That's when man prospers. Right? When he called upon the Lord and he's still putting in his head down, being humble and working. Right? Like Luke 17:20 says, right? It says the kingdom of heaven cometh not by observation. Right? You think that you're gonna overcome your demons by observing and hoping, oh yeah, I'm not going through anything anymore, so I must have overcame it, right? And you didn't do anything. Right? That's not how it's gonna work, right? You gotta put in that time, you gotta put in that dedication, you gotta practice, right? Just like a basketball player, just like a football player, just like any athlete, just like any person with a profession, right? They constantly practicing and working on their craft to be better at it and not make the same mistakes. To become a better shooter, right? You're gonna shoot 1,000 shots a day, right? So that when it's game time, you don't miss that shot. From the corner or from the wing or from the top of the key or from the free throw, right? You're going to work on these shots so that when it's game time that you overcome it. And game time is when you in the fire, Game time is when the temptation is on. Game time is when you catching hell. That's when game time is. So now when you in game time, when you in affliction, when you in that fire, now you don't fold. Now you don't miss that shot. You don't get overcome by the demon, but you overcome the demon, right? But we got to remember these things, right? People got to think of the truth in this kind of manner, right? So that they can overcome, right? But, you know, it is what it is, right? Let's go to, I think the precept I wanted was Romans real quick. Romans 6. Right, let's go to Romans chapter 6 and 12, right? It says, let not sin therefore reign in your mortal body, that ye should obey it in the lust thereof, right? And we got to remember that as well, right? I can't keep letting this sin reign in my mind. If this sin has control over the things that I think about on a daily basis, you know, I'm in trouble, right? I gotta, you know, pull the fire alarm, and I gotta get up out of there immediately. Right, and I gotta start screaming and crying to the Most High, begging Him, "Hey, Lord, help me, help me, help me!" While trying to fight that. Right, you know, that's what you gotta do. Right, let's keep reading. Right, it says, right, I'm gonna drop down to verse 14. Right, it said, I'm gonna actually read verse 13. Right, it says, neither yield ye your members as instruments of unrighteousness unto sin, but yield yourselves unto God as those that are alive from dead, and your members as instruments of righteousness unto God. Right? You don't want your members to be, you know, yielded unto unrighteousness. Your members are your body parts. It's your flesh. You know, your hands, everything. Right? It's your flesh. Right? If your members are yielded unto righteousness, that means they're serving righteousness. That means they partaking in unrighteousness. Right? So that's what we got to focus on, right? Doing more righteous works. Going out and giving more alms. Reading our Bibles more. You know, praying more. You know, going over these precepts. Going out and teaching people and telling people, hey, you an Israelite. Right? Whatever the work is, right? Being sincere. Right? It's many different works that you can do. Being humble. Right? It's so many different things that you can do, right? To yield your hands unto righteousness, right? Yield your members unto righteousness, all right? But I'm going to get this last precept, right? Verse 14, it says, for sin shall not have dominion over you. For sin shall not have dominion over you, for ye are not under the law, but under grace, right? And that's how you got to move, man, right? Now that you have the truth, right? You got to put in, it's time for you to put in work, right? It's time to be set free. Right? There's no reason that sin should continue to have dominion over you. Right? You understand these demons are what they trying to do. You understand how this temptation hits you. Right? Every time you do, you know, this, or you look at this, that's when the temptation comes. So now it's time for you to cut those things off, like they say in Matthew the 5th chapter. Right? The Lord tells you to cut off whatever is making you offend. If your right hand makes you offend, chop your damn hand off. If your eye is making you offend, pluck your damn eyes out and throw it in the water, in the lake, and flush it down the toilet. Right? That's how we got to move, man. We got to cut off whatever it is that's causing us to stumble, causing us to fall. Right? I'm going to get this last precept. Let's go to Hebrews chapter 12, right? In verse number 1. Hebrews chapter 12 and verse 1. It says, wherefore, seeing we also are compassed about with so great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight and the sin which does so easily beset us. Right? And let us run with patience the race that is set before us. Right? So that's how we do that. We cut off things, right? We lay them aside, right? So that we can continue to run this race. How you gonna run a damn marathon, a damn 10K marathon with a weight vest on? I mean, if you do it, hey, you a beast. But a lot of people can't do that. So you gotta lay aside these things. Most people can't do that, right? The only person that ever, you know, had so many, all these things down buried upon him was Yahushua. He was able to endure. He didn't go off, right? But you're not Yahushua, right? So you gotta lay these things aside. You gotta do that, right? And run that race, man, right? And that sin that's easily besetting you, that makes you go off every single time, and it's easy for you to fall to it. You gotta cut those things off. Maybe you gotta cut social media off. Maybe you gotta cut that brother off, sister. Maybe you gotta cut that sister off, brother. You know, maybe you gotta, cut the TV off. Whatever it is that's causing you to fall, to stumble, cut it off and cast it away from you for 30 days, maybe. For 2 weeks, maybe. The same, like if you want to feel cleaner, if you want your stomach to feel better, if you eat clean for a few weeks, you're gonna start feeling cleaner. If you stop eating the BS and drinking more water, you're gonna feel cleaner. You're gonna feel weight off of your body, right? It's the same thing with sin. So whatever it is that's troubling you, right? Enough time enduring that and telling yourself no and cutting it off, you're gonna overcome that. You're gonna feel free, right? But with that, I'm gonna give all honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai. Shalom.